Powerhouse. The Powerhouse is located at 224 South 3rd Street, between Spruce and Walnut Streets, in Philadelphia. It was built in 1765 by merchant and businessman Charles Stedman. This elegant Georgian brick mansion was purchased by Samuel Powell in 1769 at the time of his marriage to Elizabeth Willen. Powell served as the last mayor of Philadelphia and was the first mayor of the city after the creation of the United States. Mayor Powell was the Patriot mayor. Mayor Powell and his wife were well known for their hospitality and frequently entertaining such notable guests as George Washington, John Adams, Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin, and the Marquis de Lafayette.
Samuel Powell was a Pennsylvania senator in 1793 when the city of Philadelphia experienced an epidemic of yellow fever. Thousands of people died. Most wealthy people left the city, including the President George Washington. Samuel Powell didn't believe. Samuel Powell died of yellow fever.
During the early 20th century, the house served as a warehouse and office for a business that imported and exported Russian and Siberian horsehair and bristles. The owners had sold much of the interior architectural detail to the Philadelphia Museum of Art and the Metropolitan Museum. The building was started for demolition and the site to be used for a parking lot. After learning of the imminent demolition, Miss Frances Wister formed the Philadelphia Society for the Preservation of Landmarks and raised money to purchase the property in 1931. Over the next decade, Miss Wister and Landmarks restored the house to its appearance during the Samuel Powell's residency, interpreting the daily lives of wealthy Philadelphians at the time of the American Revolution.
Mother BethelAME Church. In this presentation, we want to describe the Mother Bethel Church during the time of the yellow fever epidemic of 1793. The church is located on 6th Street between Pine and Lombard. The present building in the congregation's fort on this side. It was built in 1889. Mother Bethel Church was founded by Richard Allen and Absalom Jones in 1787. It is the first African Methodist Episcopal church in the world.
Allen and Jones started their own organization and named it the Free African Society. During the yellow fever epidemic of 1793, Dr. Benjamin Rush and Philadelphia Mayor Matthew Clarkson asked Allen and Jones for help in caring for victims of the yellow fever. Society members visited, fed, and cared for the sick and dying. They also helped the orphan children and assisted in the removing and burying the dead. At the time, it was thought that African Americans were immune to this disease. But this was incorrect, and many African Americans died of the yellow fever.
Washington Square. Washington Square is one of the 5 public parks drawn up by William Penn in his 1682 survey of Philadelphia. It was originally called the Southeast Square, for Quakers did not believe in naming places after people. In 1833, however, it was renamed to honor the first president. Washington Square was originally used as a spatial. The square served as a burial ground for the soldier who died in the Revolutionary War.
In 1793, the square was once again used as a mass graveyard. Over the years, the square has been used for many purposes. Today it is used as a park and a playground. Now it is a place where people can get close to nature and reduce stress.
Old City Hall, one of the main attractions of Independence National Historic Park, is Old City Hall. This was the home of the United States Supreme Court in 1790s. From 1790 to 1800, Philadelphia was the capital of the United States, and from August 1791 to February 1800, the United States Supreme Court had to share the space with the mayor's office. The Supreme Court was in this building until the nation's capital moved to Washington, D.C. in 1800. After that, it became the City Hall, and in the late 19th century, it was turned into a national museum.
In 1793, during the yellow fever epidemic, Matthew Clarkson was the mayor in Philadelphia for 1 year. Mayor Clarkson was a big hero at that time. Although the state and federal governments left the city, Mayor Clarkson stayed there. He organized the effort to fight the effect of the yellow fever. Mayor Matthew Clarkson took action to start a hospital at Bush Hill for poor people. This hospital nursed the sick people and cared for hundreds of orphans.
Mayor Clarkson also established strict sanitation procedures and quarantine rules. Some persons who helped the mayor's committee were free black people such as Richard Allen, William Gray, and Absalom Jones.
Cross Church Burial Ground. Cross Church was built between 1727 and 1759. Many famous Americans such as George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson used to attend services there. The Cross Church Burial Ground is located at 5th Street and Ark Street, 2 blocks away from the church. Some famous people buried there are Benjamin Franklin and his wife Deborah, Matthew Clarkson, and Dr. Rush, one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Dr. Rush is best known as both the father of American medicine and the father of American psychiatry. Dr. Rush was one of the Philadelphians who stayed in the city during the epidemic to fight yellow fever. His method was aggressive, bloodletting, and making people vomit as a cure of yellow fever. Dr. Rush was a supporter of abolition of slavery.
Elvis Early. Elvis Early is one of the oldest continuing residential streets in the United States. It is located near Christ Church on 2nd Street between Race and Arch. This 16-foot wide alley has 32 row houses. Only 2 are now privately owned. The alley was opened in 1702 by Arthur Wells, a blacksmith, and John Gilbert, a boulder. Primarily working class people lived there. It was first known as Gilbert's Alley. In 1750, the name changed to Elvis Alley. After George Mayer, Elvis purchased lots on both sides of the alley. From this time, the alley was owned by his name.
The alley has been home to more than 3,000 people over the last 300 years. Ordinary men and women live and work there in sometimes dirty, dangerous, and crowded conditions. It also was the home to a wide variety of immigrant groups throughout the 19th century. The community was diverse, often with neighbors speaking different languages, carpenters, printers, and craftsmen who used to have their business in the first floor and their homes in the second floor were the main inhabitants. This small street gave us a picture of what many Philadelphia streets looked like in 1793.
Bush Hill. According to the gossips, Bush Hill was one step away from hell, filled with dead bodies and criminals. It was a place to stay away from, not a place where a young girl should lay about and sip broth. Stephen Gerrard took over and turned this into a right proper hospital. People who came there were lucky. Bush Hill had doctors, nurses, medicine, food and everything a fever victim needed. It was a hard job to turn Bush Hill into a respectable place. All the staff of Bush Hill worked hard and risked their lives as well. The African American community provided nursing assistance. Richard Allen of the Free African Society agreed to provide workers to the hospital. Today, the Community College of Philadelphia occupies the site of Bush Hill.